Well, we are back for episode 5 and 6 of Velma. I still don't know how I've made it this far. I think the only thing I do know is there ain't no way I'm watching season 2 of this, because never in all my life has a show, especially a comedy, made me so miserable. It brings nothing but misery. There is nothing funny. It's boring as... It's just so boring. It's so boring. Again, you know, it's been the same with every other episode. There's nothing cohesive about it. We're still doing... Right, we set the episode up for this, and then we go off, do something else. And then that other thing we've started doing, we then go off and do something fucking else. And it's just a continual cycle of the same thing over and over and over. And it's nothing more... That's the only word I could use at this point, is that it's just miserable. It's just miserable. There is nothing interesting here. It just makes you hate existence. That's all it really does. You know, it just brings about all that misery, especially after last night. I thought, you know, I've been hearing good things about this Puss in Boots movie, so I thought, you know, I'll chuck it on, see what it's like. And it was funny, it was good, and I'm just like, how is it? In what world do we live where, you know, a way to get comedy is by watching a, you know, family kids movie, not Velma? You know, it's still funny to me that, you know, a kids film is funny as fuck, and this has nothing to offer in terms of comedy. It's honestly just... It's just hilarious to me that, yeah, just the inability to make people laugh. You know, half the time you're confused on whether something was a joke or not, because it all comes across in the same way. Again, we're doing, we're making statements about something. You know, something feminist, or something, you know, it's always something like that. That's what they always go for. And it's just, again, nothing but misery. So, let's get through it, shall we? Oh, I really can't be bothered with this. It's just getting to the point where it's so... Again, I have to just keep coming up with new ways to say how shit it is. That is what point we're at, because it's the same kind of shit every episode. There's no new type of shit. It just stays at the same level. It really does. But yeah, they start off... Velma, I don't know, wants to investigate her fucking mother that we're going to completely forget about this episode anyway. So why the fuck are we bringing it up? I don't know. They must write the script and completely forget about it. I guess the people writing the show have some form of ADHD. Because we can't stay on track for more than a minute and a half, and we're off doing something else. So she wants to investigate her mother. She's gonna die if Norville doesn't text her back. I guess that was a joke. I don't know. She can't get Daphne to help her because Velma wants to bang her. So that, you know, whatever. But we have to keep doing this stupid hallucination shit. And I'm convinced at this point that the only reason we have Velma having hallucinations to stop her solving this mystery is just to waste fucking time. I'm convinced that's the only reason they have it. I don't think there's any other reason. Every time we're about to find something out, they go, oh, now she's having hallucinations. We can't continue on that road. So they keep wasting time with that. She can't look at her murder board because then she's solving mysteries and then she has hallucinations. I don't even know what world you're fucking living in. Is this Earth? Is this in another galaxy where we have hallucinations that stop us from... yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with it. So, yeah, she can't ask Daphne because she wants to bang Daphne. You know, they're both 15. Okay. You know, I don't know why they're still doing that. So, I don't know, Velma says some joke about, I can't walk to school on my own because something... turkey. I don't know, some shit like that. And then she goes on to say, "Oh, but I was voted most likely to be killed." It's like, no, we already established in the previous episode you're not at risk from this serial killer because you're not, you're not one of the hot girls. So I don't really know why she's worried about walking to school. It's like, yeah, they're probably not after you anyway. You wrote that list in the previous episode. Do you not remember? I guess not, but that's the way of this show. We do something and we forget about it. That's all we really do with this show. So, yeah, she's going to some band practice or something. There's going to be some band practice sleepover until there isn't. It comes over the tannoy at the school. The mayor saying, "Oh, someone somewhere is being intolerant." So at first I was like, where the fuck are we going with this now? And it turns out that because the police have been, hired to follow about these students that were voted most likely to be murdered, they're now leaving because the 15-year-old girls that they've been protecting has been sexually harassing them. I don't see what's supposed to be funny about it. It's just nonsense. It's just utter nonsense. That's all it really is. So now they've got to have a 9 p.m. curfew. So that's what we're doing now. And so Velma gets out of this band practice sleepover until later on she has this sleepover for reasons I'm unaware of. They have it anyway at Velma's house. I don't know, but yeah, we then follow Daphne she goes back to this place because apparently she thinks, oh, my parents are in there. I still don't know where she got this idea from, but it doesn't matter anyway because her parents are in there, just out of nowhere. Okay, that's how that works then. So yeah, I don't know what reason why she's going there. She's dumb as fuck. That's all I can come up with. So that's pretty much that. Now we've got Fred, who he says, "I'm a feminist ally," or something. It's a load of that bollocks. He later starts talking about the gender pay gap. That mythical concept. It's definitely a myth. So yeah, it's because he wants to. He's now in love with Velma for some reason because someone done a magic. No, Velma gave him some feminist book in the previous episode, and that made him change his ways or something like that. Fuck knows. I don't know what they're doing, but you've now got Norville's going out with this Gigi girl. Do we really have much that happens here? Well, you have Velma, I guess, makes a joke about, oh, if Norville can get this girl, this makes me think I could bag Don Lemon. I don't know where you were going with that. Don Lemon? What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know. I thought Don Lemon was gay, but I don't know. I don't know what the funny side of that was. There's just nothing funny. Any attempt at comedy, it just turns into anti-comedy. That's all it seems to do. So, and yeah, I don't know, Gigi, so Norville's now, because he's such a beta male cuck simp, they made him that way for some reason. He's now under the thumb, and Gigi doesn't want him hanging about with Velma. Because, I don't know, they're both, like, taking advantage of Norville, essentially. Right. So then Daphne, she comes across these two things that turn out to be her parents in some weird thing. In some crystal palace. It used to be a theme park, and now it's closed down, and, I don't know, they do stuff with crystals. That's about it. So now Velma goes to the Historical Society. We get some, I guess, another joke about slavery. She says, places like this help which white actors are descended from slave owners. Right, you're just making statements. You're just making statements. That's not a joke. It's not a joke, but they're going to go... They're trying to find out about this person here, Edna Perdue. I don't know if they've actually... I don't know. I did miss something about Fred thinks Velma's Samoan. I did write something like this. This is when, like, Fred talks about the gender pay gap. That fucking unicorn. And yeah, they have this stuff. Then Velma has hallucinations again. Oh, right, fucking hell, we'll just, you know, whatever. Velma's all upset about she wants Norville's help. I don't know. I just forget at this point. Yeah, they're gonna have this. They're gonna have a band sleepover at Velma's house. I don't know why. I don't really know where to keep her safe. Something like that. So Fred's gonna help out Velma by getting a bunch of pizzas, which he fucks up because of course he does. And then it's just fucking hell. I don't even. Yeah, Norville's going to this as well, even though Gigi said she didn't want him hanging out with Velma. So they're doing all that. Yeah, they're both. They have a flute off. Like they say, oh, who's the best flute performer? Like the worst flute performer must leave. So we're doing that now. When does the mystery come into this? When does the mystery come into this? I don't know. The geek nerdy things are fucking hungry because they're on pills or something like that. So this just goes on and on, this episode. It really does, doesn't it? I don't know. What else do we have in this episode that we can just skim through? Oh, yeah, this is when they talk about when Velma wants to share Norville. Because she needs Norville to do everything she wants him to do. So that's what we're doing that because Velma is a prick. Complete bitch. Really is. So, yeah, now Fred comes back and he, like, fucks it up. So now they got to figure out, oh, how are we going to get food to these hungry people? I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing now? Constantly, we're just, oh, right, now we've now got to go on this journey to retrieve food from some place in town, Spooners or something like that. So, you know, at this point, I'm like, what the fuck was this episode about? I don't know what the episode was about. That's how bad this show is. So they're talking about how are we going to get down there? There's a curfew. So Velma's like, well, we can get Daphne's mum's police car because they're the only people that are allowed out in the streets. You know, Velma's like, but who are we going to get to drive? It's like, well, Norville drove you in the first episode. He drove. So you must know this. But no. So they're going to go down to Spooner's. First of all, I was like, well, you know, why would it be open? It's curfew. Nothing's open. But apparently they break in there to steal food. So they're going out there. Norville talks about, what does he say? If we don't, like, because he's like, oh, I should leave an IOU. Because if we don't support businesses owned by women of colour, who will? Yeah, I'm just, what the fuck's that got to do with anything? Don't know what that had to do with anything. And then Velma just says, oh, you're a better person than me. So the police spot them and Velma's like, oh, you lot run off and I'll stop them. So she runs out in front of the police car and says to him, I'm out after curfew and I find Serpico to be boring. You're calling someone else boring. The Velma show is calling, you know, Serpico boring. Okay. Fucking hell, they really don't know what show they've... So the police... The cop runs her down. He What are we doing? Why is he running Velma down? I don't know. So then she gets picked up and Norville's Mum and Dad are also, they were out after curfew. Daphne's doing some shit. The Daphne stuff, I couldn't care fucking less about. Those were the parts where I'm not really paying attention to it. So they come back, it's a mess. They throw the food in, they leave. They spend the night in jail. And then finally, because, yeah, the whole episode was supposed to be what came up at the start. Was something to do with it's Norville's grandma. That is who may have the information on where Velma's mother's whereabouts. So that was supposed to be what the episode is. And we've done all that bollocks in between just to have, all right, I'll tell you. And and then we go to the next episode. So that was pretty much it. I don't know, they cleaned up her place. You know, that's it. So you just get that stuff where it's apparently Daphne's parents that don't want to be her parents, which we find out in the next episode. But that is episode 5. That was fucking horrendous. Absolutely horrendous to watch. It really was. I don't know what more else I can say about it other than to just jump into episode 6. Be best off doing that, and I haven't really got much to say. I really haven't. I barely wrote any notes because I'm just like, this it has nothing. There's really nothing to discuss in this episode. You've got Fred reading Yas Queens throughout history. I guess funny again, was it? I don't know. I'm just lost. I'm really lost. So, yeah, this is, their grandma's summon. I forget what's in it. I don't know if they show it. I think they waste more fucking time. So, I don't know. Oh, who knows? I don't know. A load of stuff happens. So, yeah, Velma's went to find out. So, Norville's still under the thumb. His girlfriend's making him sew her jeans. And in this episode, we have a lot of Norville's a beta male. Your dad's a beta male and all that. Fucking hell, it's so boring. So, she's going to find out about what her mother done. What Norville's grandmother did. They talk about, oh, she brought a brain back to life after being out in the thing and caught the attention of this general. And then the general wanted to do something with brains to get rid of meddling kids. Something like that. He wants to put brains in soldiers to take out the meddling kids of the 70s. Something that's fucking stupid. We get our first mention of, they start dropping references in this episode. So, yeah, they have this thing. Where is it? Yeah, so there it is there. So, yeah, they mention Scooby. Special Covert Operations Brain Initiative. This is like the general's plan. So that's how they've brought up Scooby's name. You just leave it. Just leave it. And then you have Velma do a pun where she says, "What did Scooby do?" So for that, in my notes, I just wrote double fuck off. That's really all I had for that. So they tell the story of, oh, she was doing all this experimentation in her basement in the house that Fred now lives in. She did all these experiments until she got rid of all her work because it never worked out. She got rid of her work so no one could recreate what she'd done, even though she never got it off the ground anyway. Nothing she done worked. So I don't know what she's worried about. Doesn't matter though, because later on it's just left out in the open for everybody. Even though she wanted the research out of the way so no one could find it. Right, it doesn't quite make sense, does it? So, yeah, they think that Velma's mum went there yeah, we can't find out what's in this box because Velma starts having hallucinations. So we're doing that. Daphne's story is essentially, here's my parents. They're actually criminals. They actually don't love me. They abandoned me. That's essentially all that part is. So I'm not even going to go any further than that. That's all I'm going to talk about with that shit. I've got nothing to say about it whatsoever. It's just fucking boring. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about Daphne's real parents. I don't give a shit about her whatsoever. That goes for every character in this show. Yeah, she has hallucinations and stuff like that. So, yeah, we can't do that. They figure out that, oh, I'm having these hallucinations because daddy issues or something like that. Oh. So Norville's like, I don't have any daddy issues. And she's like, you're a beta male because your dad's a beta male. So Norville spends the episodes trying to come off as an alpha male. He doesn't answer his phone. He puts on sunglasses. That's about as far as it goes. But yeah, it's you know, we got to make jokes of this guy. He's a beta male as well. He's going to help his wife's ex move. That's what they're doing with him. So a load of stuff happens with Daphne. Who cares? Who the bloody hell cares? So Velma and her dad go out to a strip club. Because when they went last time, it wasn't a strip club. So we're in a strip club. They're having conversations. He doesn't believe that his wife was kidnapped. Fred comes in. Fred's in love with Velma, you see, and his dad won't let him go out with ugly bitches. So he's like all upset about it and stuff. It's really funny. So yeah, stuff happens, and then more stuff happens, and then more stuff happens. Fred's dad hired this stripper for some reason. A load of other stuff happens. She's ready to now look inside the box and see what it is. I don't know what it was. What was it exactly? I don't even know if they showed it. I think we just get more of the story. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You just get more of the story that, oh, your mum was, because your mum likes to solve mysteries, she went to this creepy manor and went in the basement to find this research. She then went to the Historical Society, where Dr. Edna Padue's files that she didn't want anyone reading, oh, it's just left in here. And anyone can walk in and go through it, even though she didn't want that to be the case. So we just have stuff of Velma's mum going in that place. Stuff happens with Daphne. Her parents are actually bad guys and don't care about her. They find one of the murdered girls' vest on this guy. He says, oh, we found it in the water. You know, something like that. So Velma goes there to find. Oh, can we go into the basement? So Norville's dad's making cookies or some shit. I don't remember what he was cooking. And yeah, it just has flashbacks of Daphne getting left by her parents. Velma gets woken up by her dad because her dad knew to come here as well. And then they go down in the basement and they find, like, they find Velma's mum's handwriting where it says Jinkies, and they know, oh, she was here. You know, where is she then? Where is she then? I don't know. Well, they said earlier that, oh, there was a ghost that... Oh, fucking hell. So shit. It's just... It's like, oh, a ghost took her. So we get like a flashback at the end. We get a thing at the end where someone goes... Yeah, it's the... Daphne's mum finds this bracelet, and then this monster thing attacks her. So I guess this is the murderer. So that's episode 6. So that's what we had for 2 episodes, 50 minutes all in all. 50 minutes worth of shite. I don't know. I don't really know what more I can add. It's just, yeah, both episodes are really bad. The whole show's really bad, and I can't. It's a fucking nightmare. This show. It really is a nightmare. It's again one of these shows that just puts you to sleep watching it. It really does. And it brings about nothing but misery. That's all it really does. Now, as I said, I was having a good time last night. I watched Puss in Boots. It was funny. It was entertaining. It was pretty good. Pretty good. And then I had to come back home the day and start watching this shite. And it's just it's really an embarrassing show. That like 6 episodes gone by and not one funny thing has happened. Not one funny thing, other than the fact that someone created this show. That's the only funny thing to it. But I ain't really got much else to add. I'm glad to be done with those for a week. I can't wait to get to the end of the season, but we've only got 2 weeks to go, so it's not too long. It's not too long. It's just so happens this show feels like it goes on for an eternity.